the most severe sloping green on the golf course, but it is back to front. It is on the side of the hill.
What are the choices off the tee?
Well, probably the 2 or 3 iron that Tiger hits here, or you can hit driver if you want. But I think with the conditions, with the wind blowing, pins very barely over the front bunker, you need to try to get to a number that you like. Kind of similar to like the last hole. Tiger was obviously on a number he liked, 146 or 7, and he dialed it in right there. So he's looking for a certain number with this iron here. Stinger should kick right if it stays in the doesn't go in the rough.
Well, it caught the left rough. I'm on the other side of the fairway and I can see the top of the ball.
It didn't come out of the rough though.
It did not come out of the rough.
Well, that makes it a little tougher. You know, this now he's in defensive mode, just trying to get it somewhere on the green. Clear what Rory's strategy this week is. If he's hitting driver on this hole, which I don't know why he wouldn't, he kills it straight.
Wow. Another
my
massive.
Goodness. How far up is that?
He might be too close. I mean, wow.
Carried that one 311 up the hill. Yep. Into the wind. We'll have about 50 yards in for a second.
Yeah, he might be too close, but he can handle it. But that's just, he's putting on a clinic right now.
Spieth also with driver.
Just headed up to left center as well.
Just a kick a little right.
Really?
Yeah, it's on the right on the flagpole. Yeah, that's
right on the edge. So can Tiger build on that birdie right now? 1 over through 12. We'll see what type of lie he has here on the par 4 fourth, his 13th hole of the day. The wind picking up. Welcome back to feature group number 1 on ESPN Plus. George Savarickas, Scott Verplank, Ned Michaels following the leader. Rory McIlroy, 5 under through 12, has been putting on a driving display. Look at the 3 tee shots on the par 4 fourth. Rory's 327 yards, longest tee shot on the fourth so far, round number 1.
And the really impressive thing, in the middle of the fairway. It's just, he is putting on a driving clinic. If he does that for 4 days, it'll be impressive to watch. But he might be too close to the green here. I mean, to be able to really control the spin, so I don't know. We'll see.
Scott, I've got him at 43 yards to the front edge.
Right. Then 5 to the
paces
pin,
on.
and then it plays up about 3 or 4 yards from where he's at, maybe 5. It is into the wind, though, correct?
Absolutely. So be able to use that as a backboard.
Yeah, that'll help him. What's Tiger's lie back there?
Heater sitting up in the grass.
So he's going to have a difficult time judging the distance and the spin.
By my math, Tiger's at 148 all the way to the hole.
So he's got to be playing beyond the hole because you have to carry the front bunker.
That's right.
And hope that it stops.
6 or 7 yards up the hill, but as you know, sometimes when you catch those flyers,
yep,
they just come off with no spin, and you can take the hill completely out of the equation.
Yeah.
That's got to go.
Couple times now, Tiger's missed the fairway with stingers and put himself in a tough spot.
Yeah, the stinger is all dependent on being in the fairway. He's perfect. I mean, he's fine if he's in the fairway there, but yeah, that's going to be something that I'm sure is irritating him, and he'll have to clean up to keep going, making more birdies, because you got to be in the fairway, particularly if you lay back.
So now Jordan 75 to the hole, give it another 4 up the hill. Call it 79 into the breeze, maybe 83 or 84, but Scott, he's got a couple of big blades of Bermuda right behind the ball, so despite that he's in the fairway, he can very easily catch a jumper here.
Yeah, he's up kind of against the edge of the kind of the collar there, so adds a little difficulty to the shot.
Well, he did what he had to do.
Yeah, just that one little being up against the collar was just, it totally threw everything out for that shot.
Yeah, I mean, there were literally 2 big blades of Bermuda just right up against his ball, and that's all it takes.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at precision for the best players in the world, and something like that makes precision difficult.
Rory already ran all the way up to the green to pace off the 45-yard second shot.
Got to be trying to. I don't really remember watching him be this impressive with these little half shots.
I don't remember him having these, it's like a pitcher changing speeds, these different gears that he's been showing off today.
Yeah, that's always been his. I mean, perceived weakness is his wedge game's not very good because he hits it way too high and doesn't flight the ball. Well, dude, he is flighting the ball today. It is very impressive.
His ball striking numbers, he said 9 out of 11 fairways, 9 out of 13 greens.
That's a pretty good recipe around here. And that, you know, if you drive it like that in the fairway, 330 every hole, that is a huge advantage.
Tiger now from the greenside bunker with his third.
A little uphill into the wind. It's just hard. Just no spin.
His bunker game hasn't been sharp today.
Whoa.
I was going to say that shot is all about practice. Scott, how much have you been able to practice that?
Well, these bunkers are just a different kind of sand, and the ball comes out hot occasionally. And you know, it obviously it did there. It had no spin. Now he rolled down into what looks like a worse lie. This is where Southern Hills is getting you. He barely, you know, it rolled over the green. Now it's into that looks to be an ugly lie.
Yeah, now potentially 6 comes into play.
Yes, it does.
Only benefit to Tiger here is that it is on the upslope, and it's a pretty severe slope, so he can open the face up and kind of slam it into the back of the ball and should be able to create some loft.
I mean, is it into the grain?
A little bit into the grain. He's looking lower. Oh, there it was. That was the one.
Good recovery shot from
That was
the
an
Lids.
excellent shot. That's just another one of those double breakers.
Yeah, exactly. One of the double breakers in The really challenging part of this putt is past the hole that looks like an infinity pool where it just drops off the edge of the world.
Yeah.
So subconsciously you're saying, yeah, just creep it up to the front edge. Don't get too feisty here.
Well, it's got to go a little right early and then maybe straighten.
It'll go right the first 6 or 8 feet, and it wants to straighten, but not until the hole does it actually straighten.
Got it there. Boy. You called it. After watching Tiger's ball roll, you know, kind of come out of the bunker hot and then roll all the way down the hill, yeah, you don't want to get too aggressive going that direction.
All right, Ned, if this putt drops, then we potentially have history in the making with Rory McIlroy. He's 5 under on his round. This would get it to 6 under with the par 5 fifth up next.
Yeah. And this one's a little bit squirrely because it's going to go left early, and then the last foot, it'll siphon back off the back of the bunker and head to the right.
Right. That's what I was. So it's another one of the somewhat double breaker.
Yep.
It's probably not outside the hole, though, is it?
No, not with the proper speed.
McIlroy to extend his lead to 3. Another par on the card. Rory 5 under through 13.
Straight in from here.
This for Tiger to close out his bogey on the 4th. Twice now, this missed fairway off the tee with the stinger has led to bogeys for Tiger Woods.
Yeah, I think he was shaking his head there, thinking the same thing.
So a lot of fireworks with Rory McIlroy when he's had driver in hand so far today. For more, here's Ryan Rhodey.
Well, it did look easy. Maybe he's on the wrong golf course. Nobody's making it look as easy as this guy, though. And this is one of those ones, George, where he can really let it eat here because he might be able to get there if he can hit it in the fairway.
Yeah, it's deceiving when it says 665 on the card. This was with Maverick McNeely yesterday. It was not exactly like top 10 in driving distance on the PGA Tour, and he put it 5 yards off the front of the green at 2.
Yeah, it should be helping a little bit. A little bit left to right help, but Rory will probably he'll try to take it right over the edge of the trees. That's where he's aiming.
Here's the leader, McIlroy.
I think if it cuts at all, it's perfect. And in the fairway.
Absolutely tattooed. 10th fairway McIlroy is now hit.
Look how he winds. I mean, he's just so much power in his lower body. Gets down into it. Just punishing that golf ball. I don't know if I've ever seen.
Yep.
I mean, we're sitting here watching. I don't know if I've seen anybody drive it better than this. Maybe in my life. Certainly not this distance in the fairway.
Now it's Jordan Spieth.
Towed it. Gosh darn it. Sneaky might have worked out. Oh, hit trees. Oh, stay out of that.
Tiger.
Jordan doesn't need you and I, George. He told you everything you need to know right there. He towed it, clipped the trees, jumped down in the bunker.
He'll analyze it, and he'll turn the par 5 fifth into a 3-shot hole.
Yeah. I wonder if Tiger will try to bite off surely he won't bite off as much as Rory did. A little further. It's perfect. Right over the bunker.
Chase up that right-hand side somehow stays just short of the fairway bunker.
Yeah, that other bunker.
See a little hitch, and Tiger's giddy up now on the par 5 fifth. 2 over on his round. 5 holes to go. Rory McIlroy leading at 5 under. Tiger Woods has had an impact on a lot of players, not just growing up and embracing the game of golf, but those actually in the field here at the PGA Championship. Wyatt Worthington is making his second PGA Championship appearance this week. More than 20 years ago, a chance encounter with Tiger changed the course of Worthington's life forever. There's the team at 20. Wyatt Worthington will tee off at 12:30 local time with Ryan Brehm and Minwoo Lee. Of the team at 20, Ryan Vermeer off to a good start, 1 over through 9. Some of the notable names from that team at 20 currently on the course for this opening round. What a story. Never played a tournament in college and now is in his second major, the PGA Championship for Wyatt Worthington.
That is actually very amazing. I mean, that is getting into the game and getting pretty good without having kind of like the
normal
the normal trajectory of, you play high school, college, blah, 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 yeah.
Or if you're Scott Verplank, you just win a PGA Tour event in college.
I wouldn't go that far. I actually
skip a couple steps.
I actually met Wyatt's mom and dad yesterday.
Really?
Very nice people. Great. So it's a cool story that he's here.
Jordan Spieth well back now for a second.
Pretty lucky that ball didn't go in the bunker. Look at this big slice Tiger has to hit here. Got going too far right. That tree really gets in the way. Just trying to lay up to that next bunker up there.
Woods carving it around the tree. And if you saw on the left-hand side of the screen, Rory McIlroy well up there. McIlroy at his tee shot, get this, 369 yards. Has 288 into the par 5.
You can't surprise me anymore, George. Wow. So he can get there, and that you can see that.
Yeah.
He's got his 2-iron, I believe.
It's getting in front of here.
I think there is a little gap between the bunkers that if it's hot enough, it can roll up through there.
This is why they're waiting.
Bonus coverage, Victor Hovland.
Short miss for Hovland.
So, George, you heard him talking. The miss is the front bunker, so he's not going to hit 3-wood at it and go over, because then you're in bad shape.
So Hovland even through 14 on his round 5 back.
That one. Thanks.
It's okay there, though.
Thought it was just going to come into the cut. It looked like it was speeding right, and then just last second. Yeah.
Another solid shot. He's hit an iron from 288, and just flushed it. But he's in a good spot right there. He'll have a little upslope in the sand and an upslope on the green. So I would expect him to get it fairly close.
So we're not going prisoner of the moment here. You really say, and you've been around the game a long time, this is one of the best driving rounds that you've ever seen.
I can't remember one where a guy hit it that far and hit it. I mean, it's windy. It's a major championship. It's first round with Tiger Woods and Jordan Spieth, and the guy is I mean, he's outclassing the field off the tee. I mean, I can't remember anybody driving it like this. You watched a lot more golf than I have. I've played a lot more.
You played a lot more than I have.
But you've seen a lot more guys hit it. I don't recall playing with someone who hit it like that.
Like I said earlier, it looks like vintage Rory McIlroy, where he can just dismantle the course off the tee.
Well, we were wondering about their strategies, and I think we figured it out. Rory's hitting driver.
Yeah, Rory's basically playing bully ball.
Yeah.
Just getting driver as far down as he can.
And Tiger's playing his game. His problem is he's missed 2 fairways with his stinger. And that's basically got him a couple over par. Because otherwise he'd be fine. He'd be in good shape. Yeah, he is playing bully ball. Pretty impressive. It's kind of like one of those deals if you smoke them if you got them. If you can do it, you should do it.
Woods from 138 yards out for his third.
Should be a good solid wedge. Right there. Stay. Not bad. Under the hole. Little right to left up the hill.
Another birdie putt for Woods.
Yes.
Should be. Mainly off the left.
Correct. Yep.
$1.15 for Jordan. Wind off the left. Strong wedge coming.
Back there. Back there.
Dancing around the stick.
Yeah, it was one of his better shots that he's hit in the last couple hours, so maybe he can convert one here.
See if Spieth has a finishing kick in store.
Yeah, that was all over it.
Back there. Back there.
Jordan just hasn't been sharp today, and while he's made a few mistakes, just surprising he only has 1 birdie.
Yeah, and you're playing next to this guy who's just putting on a
Master class.
Yes, a master class. It makes you can't. You just have to play your game because you don't want to get caught up in how bad you look compared to this other guy. But listen, Jordan kicks this one in and maybe makes another one. Get back out, get his head right, get his swing right. He's fine. You know, he's done it before. I'm predicting he'll do it again.
This is delicate but doable for McIlroy. Just throw it left of the hole. Should be able to land it between the flag and the edge of the green.
Yeah, this should be very, very doable for him. Same thing we've been seeing.
Just had a conversation with Rory's father, and he had a big grin on his face, as you might expect. But I said, I love the pace at which he's playing and how decisive he has been, just getting into the shot and hitting it. And Jerry looked at me and said, well, isn't that what you're supposed to do?
Yes, Jerry's a fine gentleman.
A legend.
Maybe he's been helping Rory with his mental game and his attitude and his decision making. Just get in there and hit it.
Rory's parents, Jerry and Rosie, are two of the best. Rory told me a funny story a few years back how this is before his family was spending more time in Florida, that they would visit for a couple of weeks during the holidays, and they would always go out to dinner and go out to eat. Instead, Jerry's a long-time bartender in Ireland, and that by the end of 2 weeks, Jerry would be on a first-name basis at every place they would go. And then Rory said the rest of the year, instead of being excited to see Rory come back into the restaurant or bar, they'd just say, hey, where's your dad? Where's Jerry?
I have lived that too, George. I think that is Jerry in a nutshell right there. Once you know him, you're going to be friends forever. And he is, he's a good man.
So part of the unique routing now at Southern Hills while we're waiting. The 6th tee right behind the 5th green.
Yeah, there's a lot of congestion around there. And probably more so since the Tiger Woods group is coming up, so there'll be a few more spectators.
Speaking of Tiger Woods, can he claw back another birdie?
Up the hill, trying to work from right to left. There's a lot of slope when it gets to the cup.
Boy. We had the little bonus coverage of Hovland right in front of that, and he missed it the high side too, so maybe there's not quite as much break there as they're reading.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? You know, we read the greens the same at this level, and it just looks like it's got to snap at the end.
Yeah, you know, Ned, I think the greens are difficult here. That's part of the equation.
This one for Rory, we saw his bunker shot skate past the hole, so we know how fast it is. And now, of course, he's coming back up the slope, but this too, he's got to break hard at the cup.
He's a little higher up the green, so it should break a little more.
6th birdie on the round for Rory McIlroy.
And that went in with some conviction right there, didn't it?
That had some pace. Rory 6 under through 14. Mentioned before the start of this round, there have been 17 rounds of 63 all-time at the PGA Championship. Twice we've seen that at Southern Hills. Tiger Woods in 2007, second round. Raymond Floyd back in '82 in the first round. Rory have to go 1 under his last 4 to shoot 63. 2 under the last 4 to tie the lowest ever round in a major. It's Brandon Grace back in 2017 at the Open.
You can't count them out with what we've seen so far today. It's been so impressive. You know, the 7th hole, the 8th hole is not really what you'd call a birdie hole. The 9th is, though, especially if he hits driver up there and has 75 yards to the flag. So you never know.
Well, for Jordan, this is why you took all the time on those other putts. Trying to get your stroke in order, but just not yet comfortable.
Another miss for Spieth.
Yeah, he's not seeing good pictures in his head. Really on anything, it doesn't appear.
Three-shot lead now for Rory McIlroy, who's at 6 under. Will Zalatoris, Tom Hoagie tied for second at 3 under. I mean, the scoring average right now is 72.5. So if Rory parred out, he'd beat the scoring average by 8.5 shots.
Yeah, I think the scoring average is probably going to go up.
Would agree.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to get any easier as the day goes on.